Hey everyone, just waiting. Hello everyone, hi Poonam, how are you? Native tongue. Sudhir, School of Gardening. Nice to see you, Poonam. I'm sure you are. I saw your comment on the session, and I'm sure you will. You are looking forward to this one. Hi Rashmi, how are you doing? This is what we will be doing today. I'll just wait a few minutes as usual. Okay, I seem to have. Okay, Preethy is here too. Rupali, Entangler, Jayesh. Nice to see you guys. Nice to see you, everyone. Hi, Surashri. Hira, hi. Hira, I know you have sent to me a message, and I will get back to you today after the session on this. So yes, we will speak on that too. Thank you so much for sending that across. Rajesh, nice to see you too today. Great, so just a minute or so, and we should be able to start. I hope each one is having a lovely Sunday. Neha, Malvika, no good. It's nice to see the familiar faces back on Sunday. This has kind of become a Sunday session over tea or lunch, or maybe desserts at some end. So, just okay. Okay, so let me start. My name is Amit Sangekar. माझं नाव आहे अमित सांगेकर. मेरा नाम है अमित सांगेकर. Welcome to Beyond Reading with You, Season 3, Session 7, where we do poetry reading and more. If you have to catch up any of the earlier episodes, please do catch them up on either the Instagram IGTV or on my YouTube channel, Fudzilla. We had such a brilliant session on street photography by Apurva Gupte last Sunday. Such passion for his art, and the way he gave his perspectives, the way he spoke about things was absolutely beautiful. I have had so much feedback on that session from everyone, so thank you to each one of you who took the time out to write and give your comments. My love for food is not hidden from anyone. I'm in awe of people who make food look beautiful. Food evokes some of the most strongest emotions from anyone. It connects people with at so many different levels. And if tasting that food isn't possible, the image itself conveys a lot. I have been fortunate, extremely fortunate, to meet some amazing people, to have met some amazing people on Instagram who style food so beautifully. And today we will meet someone who will take us through her view on food photography and styling. But before that, a poem. And this poem sent across by our very own poet, Preethy Nair, all the way from Sydney, Australia. The title of the poem is And He Teases Unintentionally. It goes like this. A food connoisseur, also a self-proclaimed artist, on his milestone birthday, there was a big bash of food. What would be the first food he tastes? Surely that has to be his favorite. There was danger, drama in all its proximity. The chicken, the eggs, the goat, the fish, the duck. Each had their own conversation. Who amongst us would be the chosen one? The duck gloated, I am the special one. My liver pate is eaten at every birthday, every anniversary. The chicken and the goat smirked. That's twice a year. We are his companion at least once a week. We have probably met all of his friends more than any of you. The egg smiled. I am with him every morning, some days at night too. I see him at his best, at his worst. I am the chosen one. The fish laughed. You may all be with him. I am the only one recommended to him. Grilled, baked, poached, sashimi, he can have me any way he likes. At that moment, the connoisseur arranged each one of them carefully. He meticulously took pictures from every angle, and then he slowly walked away. Finally, when others pierced their knives through the eggs, chicken, goat, fish, and duck, they felt the pain. What happened to all the love he showed us? If only his umpteen pictures could speak, those pictures would say, he only flirts with food. He moves on from one food to another. What stays constant is the camera. Food photography, put forth so beautifully by Preethy. Thank you so much, Preethy. Really, really appreciate sending that poem across. And yes, so for some people, that love for seeing beautiful food is actually maybe more than eating one particular food, is capturing so many different foods and the different food elements in their frame. Today, we are going to meet somebody whose food photography and styling I have admired for quite a few years now. I happened to go onto her profile through Instagram, and the way it has been, the way she has grown, and the way she captures pictures in her own special way is something we'll speak about today. So let me try and get our guest on today. Hi. Can you hear me, Pragati? Just hold on. I think we are having a small connection issue. Pragati, Pragati, can you hear me? Pragati, I can hear you. Pragati, you are live. I can see you. Let me just disconnect and connect you again. Just hold on. Could be some connection problem, but I'm going to try it again. Just hold on. Let me see if she comes back again. Waiting. Just give us a couple of minutes. And this is happening a bit nowadays because of rains in Mumbai and some network problems. I see. Oh, hi, Ritika. Yes, Hirag. Poem Preethy writes beautifully. Eggs are your comfort food. I'm sure. Lovely. Okay, I'm going to try once again. Hi. Can you hear me?
Hi, Amit.
Can you hear me properly?
Can hear you.
Good. Can everybody else hear us? Just say something, Pragati, so that we'll just take a sound check. Are you able to hear me? Okay, Ritika says she can hear me perfectly. I think Pragati is not able to hear us, possibly. Pragati, can you hear us? Okay, he could hear, but I presume Pragati can't hear us right now. Pragati, do you want to get off your headphones? Let me just write to her. Thank you, Chef, but I presume there's some problem with Pragati's end. I'm going to try and say Pragati. Yeah, actually, Preeti, you are right. I'm also going to write to Pragati the same. Can you take off your headphones? Headphones. Hey, hi, Abhijit. Nice to see you. Hey, hi, Sachin. Pragati, it is possible that you may be having a problem also because of. Yes, you're right, Sachin. I think she can't hear me, and I have a feeling it is because of those Bluetooth headphones rather than anything else. Let me just see and try and see if she's back again. These Bluetooth headphones have been giving some issues, especially if they are. Where is she? Let's just try. I'm also going to try and message her on Instagram. Sorry, guys, just give us a couple of minutes. Let's try if she can be back here. Try again. Just a minute. Just waiting for her. I've just told her she has just managed to see the message of removing the headphones. Let's see if we can get through that and see if anything happens. Just hold on. She's just writing something. It seems there is. Just hold on. If I can see you again. She has removed the Bluetooth. Okay, let me just try it once again. I couldn't see her online. Can you send me a request? Yeah, can you just send me a request and give me a minute? Give me a minute because of this call, I have to. Perfect. If you can, Pragat, if you can just send me a request to add you in the session. Let's just see if I can get that request again. Instagram, it will not be. You have to send me a request from the live session. If you can join the live session and send me a request. If you call me on Instagram, the okay, if this does not succeed, what I'm going to do is because we have just hold on. If you can just send me a request, Pragati, I can see you that you're set. but can you just send me a request, not call, just give me a request through your, give me a minute. Okay, what I am going to do is, because this session seems to be getting, give me, guys, just give me a minute. Are you able to send me a request, Pragati? You will see two faces at the bottom of your session, and if you can just try and send me a request there, because somehow after this, this session is stuck. Okay, since we have lost about 15 minutes, I'm going to do one thing. Let me, no, I know that Rajesh is all set, but I'm not able to send her a request, and that's why I was asking her to send me a request to join the session. Which is why I was. So I'm going to do. I'm going to do something. What I'm going to do is, because we have lost about 15 minutes, I'm going to restart the session. I do not want Pragati's what she wants to say to be cut off at the end. So let me just restart the session and give me a minute. And oh, okay, I got a review. Wait. Let me see. Now, let me see. Let me see if this works. I hope this works. I really hope this works. If it works, fine. Otherwise, I will start. Okay. I can see Pragati. Pragati, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can. I'm sorry for the mess. I don't know what went wrong with it.
No, I presume it could have been the headphones, but forget it. Okay. No, don't worry about it at all. So this is a Pragati. Pragati is from...
Hi.
Amchi, Mumbai, graphic designer by profession. She's presently working as a freelance designer. And about a couple of years back, she started her Instagram handle, My Foodie Alley. And what an Instagram handle it is. If you have gone through some of her stuff which she actually does with food, it is absolutely gorgeous. She started initially with food styling, and has developed to food photography as a passion as she has gone. Malvika, can you, now I just want to check with everyone before we start off. Can each one of you see her, hear her? Just let us know. I'm going to wait. Malvika says she couldn't see her, but that was about a few minutes back. Let me see if others can hear and see. Because I can hear you clearly. Yeah, Amit V says she can. Yeah, you're perfect. Good. So, Pragati, everybody can see us. Everybody can hear us also. Okay, thank you, Saso. Okay, Preethy also says. So Preethy, I'm sure, is very happy to see you also. And Poonam says she can hear. So, great. So, welcome
Hi.
to Pragati. How are you doing? How's everybody there?
Everybody is good. We're just bored with lockdown. I hope so it gets over soon.
Yeah, no, I really hope so too. I really hope so too. So tell us, Pragati, how was where have you initially, I mean, where was childhood, and how was childhood like for you? Was food always a part of your childhood growing up?
Sorry, Amit, I can't hear you properly.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? I think we have lost Pragati again. Yes, we have lost her again. Okay, she's back again. Pragati, can you hear me? Okay, so I was just asking you, how was childhood? Where was childhood, and was food also a large part of growing up when you were a kid or when you were in your teens?
Okay, so firstly, my dad was in marketing, so we have been shifted to a lot of places. So, like for 12 years, I was in Indore, brought up in Indore, born in Sangli, and maybe the Indore MP must have played a major role for me being a foodie.
Okay.
Because I think Indore or MP is like just capital of food, and they have a like amazing food culture there. So I think that is the only thing, and yeah, so that's how it all started.
Okay. So tell me, this photography, the thing about liking photography, how did that begin? Was it Was it somebody who introduced you to it, or did it just happen accidentally?
Actually, when my kiddo was around 6 months old, I was getting bored being at home and I could not even concentrate on my work. So I just gave it a break for my freelancing graphic designing thing. And then somehow I'm like, that time, I think couple of years back, the Instagram was like happening, more into food photography, food styling. Like a lot of international people were doing it, and there were like few bloggers who have been following them, on few of the food groups.
Right.
For example, passionate about cooking or Cubes and Julius, they were like the initial pioneer of food styling, people whom I was like very much, inspired by. So one fine day, I'm like, let me start doing it. So that's how it all began. And earlier it was basic, I just started with just 20, like small plating, like, because, that was like very much, I always thought that I can do it as my art, so I can just do that in my plating. And that's how I started. So I just had like basic stuff, like just black and white plates or, like the plain plates and all that thing. And then that's how I started doing it. And earlier I was not even having a proper backdrop.
Right.
So I used to have a platform, the kitchen platform. I used to do it on that. Okay, and just for the white background, I used my flooring, like the white color,
the white colors,
flooring.
Yeah.
So that for backdrop. And my house had like a very good lighting, so I started doing it in the early mornings when there was like a beautiful sunlight and like
absolutely
you get a fresh light.
True.
So and basically I started with the mobile phone only, it was nothing like a high end
so which was
camera
I was
or
going
something.
to come to you right now. I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
I mean, when you initially started off, it must have been the telephone, the phone, because of the smartphones, etc. That must have been those must have been the tools. But did you ever feel the need to get into a high-end professional camera?
Actually, as I started doing it, I started developing my own backdrops and the lighting, the dark color pictures, the light color pictures, and then how I started feeling like I should have my own setup. But then, as my kiddo is like around 4 years now, and he's so much a curious child, so I don't feel like a need of I do feel a need that I should have a proper stuff.
Okay.
But I'm just waiting for right time. At least he should understand what exactly I'm gonna do, and so I'm just waiting for it. So once he understands, then I'll be probably going for the proper camera stuff.
But you have never felt handicapped because you just have a phone. Because the kind of stuff which you produce is absolutely amazing, even with these cameras. And I understand technology has also grown so nicely that phone cameras are also quite. But I presume the actual cameras do give you some amount of experimentation, etc., which you could do later on. Now, when I speak about styling of food, everybody has their own perceptions. Everybody tries to do it their own way. Do you try and build a story around something when you are styling it?
Yeah, I do that. I mean, I have to make a picture, like, if tomorrow I'm making chole or along with the puri.
Yeah.
So one day prior, I need to plan out things, what prop I'm going to use.
Okay.
Whether I'm going to have a dark picture or I'm going to have a lighter picture or, what props I'm going to use it for that.
Okay.
So I somehow kind of make a picture in my mind that how I'm going to present it tomorrow, like, one day prior about taking a picture or just telling about it. And
okay. I was just going to go through some of things which you stuff. So now let's look at this particular picture. Now I'm going to move off comments for some time. Okay, so that the screen is a bit cleaner. Now, tell me, one is I am fascinated by the backdrops which you use. The other is the way you then position everything around those backdrops and give a nice feel to that picture. And then the food itself. How do you manage to get all these elements so nicely into a single frame? What thought process goes inside your head?
I think being a graphic designer, I think color combination or the color, plays a major role.
Correct.
Like if I'm having something light in my plate, so I'm not going to use a white plate or not a lighter plate. Probably I'll make a darker plate because so that I want my food to stand out.
Correct.
And again, same happens with the backdrop. Sometimes I can even use I do experiment with the backdrops. If I want a black backdrop, then sometimes again black plate. Then the black or the darker color backdrop will make look picture good.
Correct.
And so for this particular picture, I just love this orange Alfonso ka, the arm popper thing, and I only love that picture so much.
No, I can totally imagine, because the thing is, possibly a lot of traditional thinking makes us believe that when you have a very dark backdrop, for example, putting a dark plate on the top of it and then contrasting it may be something which people will not try. What people will go and try and make it so contrasting that they will put a white plate on that and then they will try to create a story. The very idea, as you said, I presume being a graphic designer possibly, which actually gives you that kind of. And I have to show a contrast here where you had done this one and exactly the same example, a white on a white on a white, and then the color of the food itself. I mean, this is like thought process in its own. But tell me, while taking these now, these currently I have deliberately shown these ones which do not have props here. Does the absence of props ever make you think that I could do more with this picture? Or are you, when you think about this picture, okay, now this picture is ready? Is that how your thought process goes?
Well, sometimes, I prefer having some empty space. I don't want very much cluttered pictures. I just want a breathing space in my photography. Even that's how I have it happen in my designing itself. I mean, whenever I think about of any picture or any design, I just think that it should not be like too many things at the same time.
Correct.
You need to think like what exactly you want to show. Like for example, this amras, I really like the orange color, and it was like not much filter I have used it.
Correct.
And again, the light was so good that if I would have done it on a darker background, the orange color would have not enhanced so well.
Correct.
So I just thought ki just make it simple, clean and clear picture,
Absolutely.
That's how I love it.
Yeah.
Like I am liking it.
No, very much. And in fact, I'll go to some people and speaking about how simple stuff can be literally made to look nice. So I presume these are some greens which you have literally put up on again and again the way you have layered them. So for example, the green backdrop which you have, and then a stone kind of a look, and then you have the greens on it. I think very few people are able to make something as simple, say for example, as coriander, or it could be anything else, look beautiful in these kind of terms. But I also see what you mean by empty spaces. So for example, traditional photography would have said this has to be in the center of the frame, this has to be put in a way in this. But you have actually broken that and put it in a way, and it still conveys so much. How does it all come to you?
You know why? For this particular, I can just tell about this picture. I tried to put it in the center, but somehow again, the fried gawar, I would say, and the backdrop color went on so well. And again, there's the platter, or that is basically stone stuff which I have.
Okay.
So I'm like, what can go well with it? Something similar to those color shades.
Right.
And I'm like, just instead of putting it, I'll just try to keep it on the left centered or left aligned or right aligned.
True.
And again, it was more of showing my backdrop color as well, which is, going with my own, the food, whatever is there on the platter.
So before we actually, let us take that question, because since you brought up backdrops here, we'll go through the other pictures also. But tell me, what is a good backdrop for you? And is a good backdrop expensive?
Not really. I mean, these were some of my paintings which I had done it earlier.
Okay.
And, so I'm like, sometimes you just, obviously the basic are like the black and white backdrops, which can go well with everything.
Correct.
And then as I started doing it, I was like, just go with, and I started collecting a lot of plates. I started having a lot of plain plates.
Right.
Like, for example, the green, the blue, or the gray shades,
Yeah.
or, so that's how related to that I started making my backdrops.
Okay.
And not expensive backdrop can look good. I think I'll show the DIY backdrops which I have done it. So obviously that will come to that point later.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Good. So I want to now bring in some amount of props here. Let me see if I can find the right picture. Okay. One of this is this. Now, some of these props, have you collected them over a period of time? And then how do you decide what prop is now going to feature in which particular picture?
Well, I have been collecting a lot of props since like 10 to 12 years, I would say.
Okay.
Just as a hobby, because I just love those antique stuffs and all those things which I had collected from my aunt, or wherever cities I visit in India, or just go and visit some local bazaars and just get those stuffs.
Correct.
That's how I have done my collection. And for this particular picture, when I had plated those two plates along with that blue cloth,
Yeah.
I'm like, the picture is looking a bit incomplete. So then again, I'm like, obviously it's a plate, so you'll be needing a spoon to have it with it. So I'm like, why not put a lot of spoons and just try with it.
Okay.
And then again, you can't put a lot of spoons at the same time. You have to have some kind of, you need to think about what frame will good on that, like that way.
Correct.
So that's how I'm like.
Another one of
with
yours which I have particularly enjoyed, and I think people will, let me just see if this is the right one. Yes, this is the one. Correct.
Yeah.
Now, some of the stuff which is collected here, or with the props which have been used, forget just the props, even the containers in which the food has been put. Traditionally, a lot of people would have not kept these kind of containers, vessels, and all these spoons and all, and simply discarded them. Okay, a very, very long time back. But photography in some way has brought back these old things which were possibly sitting somewhere at the back of a cupboard, or were not being looked at all. Does that kind of help? So tell us something about this particular photograph.
Well, this particular picture, again, I would say it was, I think it was a bit darker. It was a bit, I think it was all clicked on a monsoon day or something like that. Maybe it was pouring very heavily.
Right.
And then, there was like very nice clouds. And, it was, I always shoot my pictures on a natural light.
Okay. Okay.
So for this particular picture, I just wanted to enhance again by the sambar and then the mata rice, which I have used it.
Okay.
And I again wanted to give it a very authentic look, as well as had to look so traditional. And again, these are the props which I had collected, few from Kolhapur, few from Pune.
Okay.
And sometimes what happens is, like, if you think about one particular picture, you imagine how you're going to do it,
right?
But that doesn't work out. So then whatever comes, whatever is handy or whatever. Now the brass was like my main thing was I have to put a lot of brass stuff for this picture. So that's how I'm like, okay, I'll have to put this, that, and for the chilies, I'm like, again, sometimes what happens is, like, if I'm putting only the sambar and the rice, and then it looks very empty, then what are the elements which can go along with it? So that's how I keep on adding the elements, and that's how I create the picture,
Yeah, because you have also managed to give that coriander stem also, not the coriander, the curry leaf stem also.
Curry leaves.
In that entire picture, and it actually completes the picture in a very different way. I mean, photographers. My UK kitchen, Preethy saying, anyone discarding kitchen utensils should contact food photographers first, please. I agree.
Actually,
okay.
I'll be the first one to buy.
So this is one I have enjoyed a lot. A simple vada pav has been given such a beautiful, and Preethy and I have debated this a number of times, that why is our food, for example, not seen or not is not known among a lot of people outside India. Why is it not known? And I think we need to possibly make them also, show them visually appealing. They are inherently tasty. The taste is never an issue with our food, but we have never been able to market them or speak about them in this manner. And I think photographers like you, who are able to project that food beautifully, play a large part in making this food known to people. That is my very firm belief. And look at the simple vada pav. Okay, you give us a vada pav story about it. I mean, I need a story from you on vada pav.
Okay, this is a very interesting story, I would say. Usually, I don't like to put those fried items in the newspapers, you know.
Okay.
So when I went to my storeroom, I was looking out for a paper, and this chai time paper was given by, my kiddo just gave me, take the paper, and it was written chai time. I'm like, oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm like, okay, it just goes perfectly with what I'm planning to do. And I do read Mumbai Mirror, but I never observed that this
Awesome.
chai time supplement comes in, you know.
No, very nice.
So
I
that's
think
how
even the cloth which you have used, even the traditional cutting chai kind of glasses, all those make such a difference to that entire picture. I wanted to show another one which is of, just hold on, I'm trying to figure out. Yes. So this one.
Yeah.
Any comments on this particular one from you?
We do have a Facebook group.
Yeah.
It's a Maharashtrian food group again.
Okay.
So we have a live session on every Sundays where like a lot of professional chefs and a lot of home chefs come and show their stuff.
Okay.
So this particular shirvalio or shevayo, like the rice noodles which is made in Konkan and Goan region. So one of the chef called Chef Rege, he has showed this noodles served with, sweetened cardamom milk, like the coconut milk.
Okay.
So he made it with a plain rice flour. So I saw his live and I'm like, can't we use some other color for it? I mean, just for it, I just wanted to try.
Okay.
So for this, I used my beetroot juice while making those rice dumplings.
Wow.
And somehow I thought that while steaming, that color might change. But surprisingly, when the whole thing was made and it was like amazing, beautiful pink color.
I agree. I mean, it really looks beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And there is another picture in which, rather two pictures in which you have used props so beautifully. One is this one. I totally envy this picture. It looks absolutely right out of a mythological drama where a Raja is sitting down for his nice little meal and he's been served by his servants and all, and this comes in. And there is this nice, is that the adkitta or the betel nut?
Yeah, that's the adkitta which I had taken few years back from Goa. Literally, I remember I had taken it from some shops at Bagha Beach.
Okay, wow, okay, interesting.
And I just so love it. I mean, it's one of my favorite antique piece, I would say, and the curve which it has.
Yeah.
So when I was styling for this kheer, I'm like, what do I use it for the kheer? Because again, the light was so amazing and I didn't want to use it with a black drop.
Correct.
Sometimes it's like, why you want to use a black drop for a festive stuff?
Yes, true.
Even that happens.
True.
So again, sometimes then I'm like, okay, this curve thing really goes well. So I'm like, where do I place it? I actually did a lot of trials while placing this adkitta, and it's just a more thing which enhances that.
I agree. I mean, the peacock thing has given it completely this. The other one, which is this, a sabudana khichdi, a sagu seed savory item, is now totally out of this one. Tell me, somebody who's shown this picture, why will that person not like a sabudana khichdi? So I have no idea why they would not. and which is why this dish not being known outside India or maybe outside Maharashtra also to an extent. How do you really make it? But I think again, all these smaller contents, so other than the main subject, which is the sabudana khichdi, the accompaniments which have gone along with it and the way they have been placed in that entire frame is what brings this house entirely so beautifully. I mean, this is just beautiful. I'm just going to Poonam. I know I've seen your question about the phone and the editing apps. We will come to that at the end. So I will definitely answer that. Now I'm going to give you some time. Do you have anything for us today to show in terms of plating or in terms of styling? If that, then please do. And I think everybody would love to see that.
Oh yeah, I do have few couple of DIY backdrops which I want to show today, and again 2 platings.
Okay.
For our typical Kothambir vadi and for the cake.
Okay. Okay.
So just I'll just
So you can do, if it is comfortable for you, if flipping the camera is comfortable, then you can do that. You will see that I presume Instagram has just changed. On the top there could be the flip sign which is there. Previously it was double tap on the screen.
Yeah. It's in the bottom
it's
actually.
In the bottom,
I'll do.
Yeah.
Just a minute.
Sure.
I'll just start with it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so this is one backdrop I think which we have seen. I'm going to remove comments currently, and so that people can see clearly. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, this is just a plain black sheet.
Okay.
Okay. Again, this is a DIY backdrop which I have recently made.
Okay.
These are the poster colors. Okay.
Yeah.
Literally a black and white.
Okay.
And again, this is just a plain sheet. I'm like, instead of giving some other color, why not give like a lot of different, just play around with 2 colors, you know. So I just used this basic sponge. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And just took the colors and just started with the sponging.
Wow.
And wherever I felt the need of black color, I started giving more of black color.
Right.
Where I wanted a gray color, I started with a gray color, and that's how I got this effect.
Wow. Now, and what is the material which is on which this has been made? Is it some kind of a special?
This is just a plain black sheet, you know, the drawing sheet which we get it in any stationery shop.
Wow. Okay. Backdrops.
Okay, so
backdrops
there's
are not
nothing.
expensive.
Yeah.
Please remember.
Not at all. Yeah. I mean, anybody can make their own backdrops. You don't have to go for expensive ones.
Correct.
You know.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And again, this is like another a green backdrop which I had recently made.
Okay.
Now, even this was like just a plain green sheet.
Okay.
Okay. And for here, I have just used these just poster colors, like just 2 colors.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Again, just take it in your palette and just start sponging it, and just use the sponge.
Oh my.
And start giving whatever effect you want.
This is eye-opening even for me. I was like, okay, should I spend 30 pounds on getting one single backdrop? And then suddenly I hear you and the other Preethy say that why do you want to spend so much money on one single backdrop? That too. You do not even.
Totally.
Very nice. Very nice. Beautiful.
So.
Okay. So one can work with color combinations on a simple sheet of paper and just create as per what you think looks beautiful for your food. Nice.
Totally. And I just have this black backdrop. Okay, just a plain backdrop.
Okay. So
this plain backdrop, I usually keep it behind my pictures because I just want a darker picture.
Yes, which is something which we have noticed in your photographs a lot. You prefer the dark mode of doing it. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So that's how the whole the background stuff it looks like.
Oh my! Wow, nice. And I always used to wonder, what is she creating all this with? How is that absence of light creating such beautiful images? Now we know the secret. Now, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. And again, the light plays an important role.
Correct.
Sometimes I do have, if I want a picture to be really dark, and I want the light to be come from the left side, then I have to again hide the right side of the backdrop, and have to just create that scene to get that darker picture.
Yeah.
And I just think that to get a picture in darker, I think you can do that in a fresh light.
Right.
But after a particular time, that good effect doesn't come. I mean, that way.
I agree with you. Yeah. True. True, true, very true.
So should we start
Yes,
with one
please.
plating
Yes,
now?
please. We are waiting for it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, here I've just taken simple white plate.
Okay.
And I just have this chocolate sauce with me.
Are you going to make us hungry right now?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, I said, are you going to make us hungry right now?
Okay, I'm just going to show you something really simple.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. For this particular plating, I'm using this painting knife, which I had like a fresh pack, and this was basically a trial and error types of thing,
Okay.
which I had seen. I had seen this plating somewhere on Instagram itself, and I don't know how that chef must have done it.
Okay.
But I'm like, okay, let me try this. But the effect was the same, whatever he has done it, that way.
Okay.
So I'm just pouring this.
Oh boy. I mean, at times you wonder how did that pattern come about, and then if you put your common mind to it and you realize that you may already have some tools with yourself which can create those kind of stuff. Nice.
Absolutely. I mean, you just have to have an eye for it, I would say.
No, true. You definitely need to have an eye. I agree with you completely on that. But I don't think...
Okay, I'm just doing it.
Sure, please. One should not be limited by just saying that I do not have this, I do not have that. And it is possible to create some patterns even out of stuff which you already have at hand. Just requires some thinking to be done. But no, I think people like you need... People like you need to speak to us more.
These just the small drops which I'm using it.
Okay.
Okay, this is just a pastry which I'm going to place now.
Okay. This is like, telling us, oh my God, okay, forget it. I was going to say I'm already wanting to dig into that, but with the moment it is placed on that, it is like, oh God, okay, let it stay there. It looks beautiful there right now.
Okay. Just placing some of my greens. I don't know, somehow the green actually plays an important role. Even if the picture is not good, with the green, it really looks good,
No, it does. So, I agree with you.
I just did with some limited stuff.
No, perfectly fine. And in fact, these are the times when one needs to experiment with limited stuff. So, and that's what we should be doing. It's brilliant. Nice. Yeah. That's kiwi, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's kiwi. Okay. And done.
Wow.
So, you can play around with that knife actually.
Correct.
I think the sauce has been like, yeah.
No, it's nice. No, actually, and I think the moment it comes onto that specific backdrop too, there are so many combinations you can work around. I do not know if maybe a green may be too dark a color for it, but maybe sometimes a green backdrop may work with something, sometimes a blue may work. But I think this really comes out well on this black backdrop too. True. Nice. Perfect.
This is how it looks.
Very nice.
Now I'll be doing some more plating.
Okay, sure.
I'll do one for a typical Kothambir vadi.
Oh my God. You are killing us.
It's just a simple stuff.
Yep.
Okay. This is again for the darker picture as we had discussed. Correct. Okay. Sometimes, okay, this is again a contrast stuff which I'm using.
Yeah.
The green backdrop. Okay, now what I have done is, made few kothambir vadi.
Okay.
Okay, apna typical. And this is the green chutney with the curd or the yogurt, that's mixed with it.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'll be placing my kothambir vadis on the center.
Okay.
I mean, that's how I had planned. So, and this I made like a small cone,
Okay.
It's just like a mehendi cone which we have.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah.
And a lot of baking people will have
And
these cones also.
Yeah, and even you can make it with your the plastic sheets or the Ziploc bags which you have. You can use those
Correct.
stuff. And I have filled the chutney in that cone now.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay.
Now I'm going to just make a simple plating again.
My God, I mean, who would have thought a chutney can be actually put up in this manner? No, my God. Okay.
Okay. And sometimes you just need to experiment.
I agree with
a lot of things.
And there was one movie which was done by my friend was a writer for it, and somehow when it was released, people thought that such kind of a place exists. It was called Shanks. Shanks tried to bring about the concept of Michelin star level Marathi and Indian food to life. When it was initially released, everybody thought that there is such a place called like that. But the writer was very clear that this is imaginary right now. Nobody has really made this. And there some of the plating was like, even the simple thing like varan bhat or dal bhat was presented in such a beautiful manner. And that is what I'm actually recollecting right now. I mean, a Kothimbir vadi. So for the first thing which struck me was the stacking. Okay. I think it's just, the stacking of the Kothimbir vadi. Most of the times you end up just putting the vadis next to each other and you don't stack them. Stacking is such a different level to that entire photography. True? No, very much. This is nice. This is like actually decorating somebody, putting on makeup to some beautiful food. Awesome.
Okay. So Kothimbir vadi, it has to be with
so for
typical
all those
coriander.
Kothimbir is coriander, and these are nothing but these are, you could call them patties or specific, which are made in a savory manner, typical Maharashtrian.
Yeah, and I'm just putting some sesame seeds so that just to enhance.
Wow.
A bit.
This is brilliant.
Okay. I'm just putting some of my props too.
Oh yes, please.
Yeah. There's like again, obviously the knife and the fork would go with it.
Correct.
And somewhere I can just place my Zara, the brass stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
So I just thought making something really simple because
very much.
it needs a lot of patience.
It does. There is, and I think a couple of people mentioned the kind of perseverance you have, the kind of patience you have with your food as well as this, and not just your patience. Okay, people in your house, they also need to have patience when you are plating all this food. So hats off to hats off to your husband. I presume he's also helping out, and hats off to your kiddo who may also be kept right now. Bazula ra. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Totally. So he's always like, he wants to put in his hands and he just wants to check everything.
Correct.
And I'm like, this is not for you, have it later. Then he just waits there till I finish everything so that he can just grab whatever.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful, Pragati. Very, very nice. And it really looks extremely nice. Do you have some props of yours around by any chance?
Yeah, I do have. Yeah. Okay, these are again some of the stuffs which I had collected.
Okay. Wow.
There's basically a lot. I mean,
I can imagine. I can totally imagine, and I identify with it. With having met some of the Instagrammers who present food so beautifully. They said it is not one place where they collect place from. It just keeps on. It's over a period of time that you get all this stuff and you start compiling
True.
and then utilizing it in a manner which is done. So this is really beautiful. Okay, I'm going to take a couple of questions which so Poonam had asked, what kind of phone do you use? And what are the editing apps you use at the end of when everything is ready?
Okay, presently I'm using my very basic, I think the Samsung J7 Max.
Okay.
And for editing, I do use Photoshop.
Okay.
But people can use Snapseed also.
Okay.
And then like a lot of other basic, even Instagram has a good filters actually.
Okay.
So you can go with that as well. You should know how much, till how extent you want to edit the picture. Let it look like natural.
Correct.
But you can go and make the orange color picture to a purple color picture.
I agree. Correct. Some of the natural colors of food should not be lost. I'm completely.
Yeah.
I agree with you completely. But there is something which you can do. So, for example, even in this also, with the finer colors to come out of that actual dish within that entire background, you need some amount of touching up, which makes all those things look beautiful.
True. Yeah.
I have a comment here from Preethy. Pragati is an amazing designer, any media, and she makes it beautiful. She has created some incredible posters for Two Hands charity event, and that I agree completely. So that is another facet of Pragati, which a lot of people, they know, but not which is publicly done. So this is her.
Yeah.
Okay, this is again her. This is her painting. This is her work, and I think she does really some lovely work in addition to the. So, do you continue to balance out the two, or is food the more primary thing which you try and do?
Well, I would say the designing is the primary work.
Correct.
But of course, like with the food also, again, I try to make it look more beautiful the way I design. And sometimes it's more about like, how can you make it looks good?
Right.
Like, it's not about, I do get inspired by a lot of good people, a lot of international chefs, and even this, that's how I have come across with these simple plating.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then you can get inspired, but obviously at the end you need to use your own brains and you need to have your own style. You just can't go with.
Look at this.
Exactly
my last session guest Apurva Gupte, he's here too. And he says the natural light is so well used. I agree, Apurva. Yes, she does use light very nicely. And for that, I think I envy a lot of people who stay around the subcontinents and places where abundant natural light is available possibly across the entire year. People like us in colder parts of the world at times have to manage, okay, I need to photograph food now, this part. And then somebody at the home, how can I make food at this part? It should be made for dinner. What? I said, no, you make it right now. We'll have it for dinner. But yeah, I know what you did. Kajal says beautiful backdrops, beautiful props, and lovely ideas. A true idea, a true artist at the best. So Kajal also is paints very nicely. So she is brilliant. Okay. So Pragati, this was absolutely wonderful. I think. Each one of us enjoyed speaking to you. Each one of us enjoyed listening to your ideas.
Same here.
And many thanks for being with us today. This was awesome. Tell us, you were saying something. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. By the way, this is my first live and, giving me an opportunity to be in your talk show.
Oh my God, talk show. Again, okay, thank you. I like that.
And again, special mention to our dear Preethy and, giving me really some good guidance. Actually, it was really helpful when I spoke to her last time. Correct. And it was really great. I mean, she was like the earlier member who I was inspired.
Yes.
Again, she has like amazing style and,
She does. I agree. There is Chef Vijayendra Pavaskar who says food has its own language and you have to understand that language. Her pictures do say that she has understood that language very well. So amazing. So brilliant. Awesome. Poonam said she's amazing. So great, Pragati. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you on this session. And take care. And we hope to sometime meet and actually style food together. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Take care of
Do
yourself.
come over.
And thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Yeah, bye. Bye.
So that was Pragati, and thank you very much for everyone who